Hi, Julie Torrance here. So the last time we were together, I made this masterboard out of dictionary page, and this was the prototype. And in the meantime, I received in the mail a 9 by 12 envelope, which is perfect, absolutely perfect for a journal cover. So I'm just rough cutting this, not making hard, fast measurements. I think I want to cut this just a little bit off this end. But I thought this is a nice weight to work on a cover for a journal. So I'm working on a journal that is my digital, and it is called Letters from the Garden. So I'm going to use the same colors that we used. Remember when we did this and we put acrylic paint on top? I'm going to use those same colors on this. So let's get started. And I'm just going to use these craft paints that I have. And I'm going to use a card. I am not using gesso this time because I really don't mind if the color wants to really show through the letters. Wow, that went far, but that's fine. See, again, I'm glad I didn't put gesso. Now, I made this large enough that I can fold it over the edge of my base, which is that envelope, okay? I'm going to add some green. Got to be careful with green and pink. You can get brown. So I'm not going to mix it around a lot. Let's see what that does. I have the angle or the direction of this dictionary page all kinds of ways. So I'm not worried about which is the top, which is the bottom. All right, now this is a pearlized paint and it's called Tiger Lily. And let's give Tiger Lily a little chance. Go ahead, there we go. Got a lot of Tiger Lily going on here. That's okay. Get it where you can see it maybe. Okay. Now this is called Desert Sand, but it's kind of the closest thing I have to like a tea dye color of acrylic. Just adding some touches. Now I saved the gold for last because I felt like last time the gold really didn't have a voice. It's okay, but I would like it for the cover to have just a little more. It's kind of threading out. Probably should have left the squirt top on and squirted it out instead of trying to pour it out. But, you know, I kind of like the squiggles, to tell you the truth. But we're going to smear them out. Here we go. I like the way the words are showing through this. I really do. Now I am going to collage on top of this, but not till it's dry. So, future Julie will be right back. Hi, I'm back. It's been about a week since I was here. So, this is where we left off, and it is dry, and it was dry in about 3 or 4 hours. And this is to go on here. And I am working on a cover for my digital that's called Letters from the Garden. So the next step on my cover is I took 3 of the more plain, or maybe what you would use on a back of a sheet of paper for your journal. And this one has little ivy vines. This one has letters or stationery in a collage. And then this one has little baby flowers, but all very pale. And then we made an element of ephemera for the inside of the journal. And this was the master board from that. And I've got a couple pieces of that. Now, unlike other times when I'm collaging, I am not planning on covering this whole thing. I want some of this acrylic paint that we did to come through. I'm going to start out with just tearing this along that line. I want to make primarily, I'm just looking for a way to line this up, rectangles and squares. So that's my goal. Probably more rectangles than squares since I'm not measuring anything. All right, we've got a little bit of that. Let's get some of this. I did cut the white edges off. And you can see my printer left a little blemish. And everyone's printer is going to do that from time to time. And so that makes it a great page to use in collage, I think. So, since the last time I talked, has stuff gone on? Well, yes. The biggest thing was Robin, my very best friend, she came over for a week and we did crafting. We did go to the craft warehouse, or it's craft outlet is what it's called. And she doesn't have a store like that where she lives. I'm on the west side of the state of Michigan, Grand Rapids area. I'm going to do another narrow one like I did before. She is on the east side of the state. I'm on the west. So it's about a 3-hour drive for her to come see me. But I have been feeling better. Whoop. Let's just tear that on our own. One more of these? Sure. Yeah, she's on about a 3-hour drive. And so, bless her heart, ever since I moved here, which has been about 3 years, she's been coming and visiting, and we've been crafting. It's just been a lot of fun. Okay, I've got this part, I think, some ahead. Now, as you noticed, my paper, this is going to be the base of my cover, is larger. And I do plan, and, you know, of course, it'll go, how can I show you? It'll go this way. And then I'm going to be folding over edges. So in that, I would like to go all the way to the edges. Not necessarily over, but I don't mind going over. And let's just start putting this down. Glue stick and acrylic paint are not friends. Now, maybe you have a glue stick that works really well. I don't. And at least not for that application. I'm going to just fold this in half because that's how it's going to go. And I'm just going to put a tiny little, I just put a tiny little crease right there. So that tells me where about the spine will be. And I'm going to start out by putting some of this on that spine. Now, I may not get every edge down, but I am going to sew over this. So I want pieces that are not right in line with that middle fold. So that's why I'm starting with that first, to get some pieces in that middle. Because I really don't want to try to keep the edge of a piece of the collage work from getting ruined. That one's upside down. I really don't care. Because I don't, at this point, know which way's up and which way's down in more ways than one. Okay, let's grab a couple more rectangles. So the weather has changed. Lots has changed since I started this video. One of the things that Robin and I did was we went to a greenhouse, and it's a local greenhouse where the plants are all started and they get going here in Michigan. And what's great about that is that your plants are climatized already to Michigan. So, but again, with my whole trying to buy local and trying to, if I can't buy from my own city, then from my own state. If I can't get it from my own state, then my own country, just to try and avoid the disadvantages of all these things that are going on with overseas. And I'm not trying to get political. I'm just explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing. Put this here. I know I said it before, but I do hope you're doing well. Spring is definitely sprung, but you know, I planted tomatoes and green peppers, and those were plants. And then I did a couple of florals just for decoration on my little patio. I only have a balcony, so all of these are in pots. And then I planted dillweed seeds. So I guess the consumable part is the tomatoes, the peppers, and the dillweed. And then 2 pots of flowers. One is a hanging pot. And then I have a huge jade plant that I have in my house. But in the summer, I put it outside. It loves it outside in the summer or in the spring, summer. It doesn't want to be below 40 degrees. So I do try to mind the weather that way. And then I get some nice added space to my living room without having this plant. This plant was given to me as a housewarming gift, tried to die, and I was doing my best to take care of it, and it was just not happy. And it looked like it was going to completely give up the ghost. So I just put it outside. I just said, you know, if you're going to die, you're going to have to die outside. And I put it outside, and it flourished. So I took a picture of it for Google and found out that the little tab or tag that came with it was not the plant that I had. So I was treating it all wrong. So I started treating it with the right food, at the right amount of light and water. And sure enough, where can I put this? I'm being careful because same as these things are going to be folded over, I would like to avoid folding it over right on a seam. And you know, maybe I will. And then I'll just do some correction. I'm taking off this little weird edge here. There. Now, will I sew exactly on the rectangles? Probably not. But I will be sewing. And then once I put the cover together, I may have to just, which way does this go? The pattern goes this way. I may have to tack down some of the little areas that want to poke up, but that's okay. It's normal. It really is. Okay. When something is sticking up real obvious, I'm just going to tack it down now. How we doing? So one of the things I've been working on, because sometimes it's just really difficult for me to do anything for any length of time without changing position. And I mean, I'm just like a whirling dervish. I'm sitting. No, that's no good. I'm standing. Yeah, no, that's not working. I lay down. Oh, I'm bored. I get up. I walk. Yeah, well, I can't walk too far. I'm sitting. Yeah, that doesn't work. And and it's just like an old rosary, round and round and round. But I'm feeling quite chipper today. And we shall see how long it lasts. But let's just hope it lasts a good long time. All right, I'm liking this. I think we're doing good. I'm liking not having my collage completely cover the background very much. The pieces that I'm putting down obviously have a flat surface, a matte surface. And the acrylic paint with the metallic and the pearl, they are shiny. So yeah, I like it. Looking good to me. All right, I have one more piece. So maybe over here. I don't know, I'm not crazy about it. Hang on. I didn't even use the other. Where? Maybe sideways? Like that? Let's give that a go. I may love it, I may regret it. We don't know. But that's okay. All right. I think this is a good start for our cover. I have this. Let's not leave this little one all to its own. Robin and I went to Holland, Michigan, which is where we have our Michigan's Tulip Festival. And it has a very fun downtown area. I went to a nifty little gift shop. Our friend Liz Donahue, fellow artist, Karen, Robin had her do a commission work for her. And so we picked that up and we had coffee at one of the many fun little coffee shops. And we, as I said, we went to a little gift shop. And then as we were walking in the downtown area, you can tell, when you're looking up onto the second story, third story of a building, if it's residential looking. And they were. You could tell they had apartments. And then one of the doors that leads up to the apartments had a lot of mailboxes, and those mailboxes had those things sticking out that said vacant, vacant, vacant to tell the mailman there was nobody living there. So while Robin and Liz went into, I'm grabbing a swirly stamp, and now I'm going to start stamping because I want that to sort of marry the collage to the base. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use ground espresso. Okay. The two ladies went into a shop that was different kinds of things made with cherries. And cherries is a big thing in Michigan. And so they went in there, and I sat down and went and Zillowed those apartments, and just to see quite a variety of apartments, but a lot of the apartments, the bedrooms had no windows. You know, they had floor plans in the Zillow ads. And I just thought, yeah, that would never be for me. But to be able to live downtown like that, and making sure I'm going into the same ink here. Nice. I would love to live in an apartment like that where I could just wake up, comb my hair, brush my teeth, go downstairs, get a cup of coffee from one of the many coffee shops, and go upstairs and work on my art. But for one thing, if you're going to work on art, you need windows or you need light. And artificial light just doesn't do it like natural light. And when there's only one window in the living room and you've got the kitchen and the bedroom, all depending on light bulbs, yeah. But then, of course, too, the price of these apartments, although not as bad as I thought. Those type of loft apartments in Grand Rapids, where I live, are much higher. But these were still not in my budget. In a lot of people's budget, and I'm really happy about that. And there's a lot of people that go to Holland, Michigan for their summer and live somewhere else in the winter. So that surprised me that there was a lot of apartments available. But then again, they have a college called Hope. I don't know much about it, but I know a lot of the people that go to that college, it's a big college. A lot of people that go to that college left, for the summer. So I don't know, is it a summer place for snowbirds? Is it primarily for college students, those apartments? I don't know. But what do you think? I'm liking it. Just random swirls. Here, there, here, there. Here. I think that's good. And I can always add more. Now, I do plan to have a journal topper, for the cover. This will be probably the front of the cover. This will be the back of the cover. I really don't want to, I'm tempted to fold it and show you, but because all of this is still wet, I'd rather not. So I think what I'm going to do, because the ink places that are over the paint, they're going to take a minute to dry too. So let's go to dry time, and I hope I'm back in less than a week. This is dry. It's had about a good hour. And so I'm going to turned her over, and I've got my envelope that I'm going to use as my cover base. And I'm just going to tack it down with glue stick because I'm going to be stitching it. So let's get some using my Scotch permanent glue stick. And I'm just going to give it some here. Just like that. And then let's get our envelope down. As much in the center as I can. I'm going to give this little place, this is just a little kind of tortured because it had one of those metal clips and I tore it off. And I tried to not injure the envelope too much, but I think I did. Let's just hope we can get that a little bit flat. All right, now this is tacked on. And I'm going to just miter these corners a little bit just to eliminate some bulk. Otherwise, the corners are so much harder to get to lay flat. All right. And I'm going to tack these down with glue stick. Just really wanting the crease to be right up against that envelope. Good. And now because this was made out of multiple layers of dictionary page, I'm just going to tack this part down just a little bit that was lifting up. But if it's not perfect, I really don't care. And let's do this side. Whoa, I really pulled that up. Okay. Because I'm folding up multiple layers, including the collage work that we did, it just takes a little more convincing, a little more easing. Okay. All right. 2 more. I know there are people like Gail Agostinelli who love making journal covers, and I understand why. They, for me, are a lot of fun as well. My only thing is, I don't want to store a bunch of journal covers, and I don't have a purpose for them yet. I'm just not smart enough to be able to do something like that and kind of know what I need, or, you know, making ephemera ahead, making embellishments ahead. I just haven't been doing this long enough to be able to say, yeah, I need 5 pockets, I need 4 tags. I'm not there yet. I don't know that I'll ever be there. We'll just have to see. Okay, can you see that I've got some collage bits that are not going all the way around right there? That's okay. We'll just work with them. They are not going to be happy. But we'll try. Sorry for my reach. Okay, now, can we get a look at the cover? I don't know about you. I like it. I really do. I like the parts that are showing from the acrylic. I like the parts that are showing from our collage. I like the stamping. I like it. So, what's next? I have already selected what I'm going to be putting on the inside of the cover. But before I glue this on, what I want to do is some stitching. So will I be able, or am I even willing to just go perfectly around any of these? Probably not. I really am not that great of a sewer. I can see a bit coming up here. But I think we've got a really good start on a cover. A really nice start. I'm happy with it. I hope that you like it too. These need to dry just a few more minutes. Then, I can see this. Then I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and do some stitching. And then I'll come back with what I hope is near the finished product. And the sewing is done. I didn't clip the threads. But as you can see, I did not necessarily go around all of the collage pieces. So as I see, like right here, little bits that might be wanting to raise up, I'll just tack them down. But that's okay. I still like the look, and you can see a little bit more how far I sewed. And I did do a once all the way around. So I think that's gonna help hold it all together. We'll see. I think so. Okay, so last part of this is gluing this down, which I think is going to be a nice inside cover for this. So how am I going to do that? Well, let me get one of my glue sheets. I'll use this. I want to start out with glue stick because it sticks now and it sticks good. And I can get it all the way to the edge. So this kit that I'm using is on Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, and I will link to that. And it is the Letters from the Garden kit. Now I'm gonna put some art glitter glue. I kind of skipped a little bit there, didn't I? I'm working fast because my air conditioning is on and glue stick dries fast. Maybe not quite as fast as art glitter glue, but plenty fast enough. All right. Now, can I pick it up? Yes. Look at this. This is the way I want it. And down she goes. So, and this has kind of like ticking. It's got some roses over here, which will be on the back cover, but that's fine. Okay. So this is our inside cover. We used an envelope for the base, and then the collage I did on a masterboard style that was done with dictionary page. I don't want to fold it yet because I think that this part will want to buckle, you know, right where I try to fold it. So we're just gonna be patient. And in the next video, I should have the signature in and we can start working on the ephemera and embellishing. So if you like this video, please hit a thumbs up. It helps my channel so much. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Today is a perfect day, totally free. And then you'll be getting notification when I post the next step on our journal. In the meantime, down here, a video is going to pop up made just for you, and I'll see you over there.